Have you heard about fasting? But did you know that it can be the secret to completely transform your health? Fasting is a millenary practice, present in several cultures and religions, which involves the alternation between periods of feeding and abstinence from food. Although many people associate fasting only with food deprivation, the truth is that it goes far beyond this, deeply impacting the functioning of the body. There are different types of fasting, each with specific variations in the time of food restriction and how they are practiced. However, the core concept remains the same. Give the body a break without food intake. During fasting, the body goes through a series of metabolic changes that are crucial to our health. When we are in a feeding state, the body focuses on digestion, absorption, and use of nutrients from food. Glucose is used as the main source of energy, and excess energy is stored in the form of fat. However, during fasting, the body shifts focus, entering a survival mode that activates surprising and beneficial processes. The first stage of fasting begins after about 8 to 12 hours without food. During this period, the body consumes what is left of the glucose stored in the liver and muscles, called glycogen. When the glycogen is gone, the body needs to look for another source of energy, and this is where the magic begins. It starts burning fat as fuel, a process called ketosis. This metabolic state of fat burning not only helps to lose weight, but also promotes health in different ways, as it activates the production of ketone bodies, which have neuroprotective and anti-inflammatory properties. In addition, fasting triggers a process essential for healthy aging and disease prevention called autophagy. Autophagy is a kind of cell cleaning in which the body removes damaged cells, toxins, and accumulated waste. By doing this, it renews itself and repairs tissues, reducing the risk of chronic diseases such as cancer, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. One of the most studied effects of fasting is its ability to improve insulin sensitivity. When we are constantly eating, the level of insulin, the hormone responsible for regulating blood sugar, remains high. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance, a precursor of type 2 diabetes. However, fasting helps to reverse this by giving the body a break from constant insulin production, improving its efficiency and reducing blood glucose levels. Another surprising benefit is the reduction of inflammation. Fasting decreases the production of inflammatory cytokines, which are molecules involved in the body's inflammatory process. This is important because chronic inflammation is linked to a number of health problems, from heart disease to obesity. By controlling this inflammation, fasting contributes to a more balanced overall health. In addition to the physical benefits, fasting also positively affects the brain. It promotes the production of a protein called BDNF-derived brain neurotrophic factor, which supports the growth of new neurons and strengthens brain connections, essential for memory and learning. Thus, fasting can be a powerful tool to improve cognitive function and protect the brain against age-related decline. However, it's not just the time without eating that brings benefits, but how you break your fast is also crucial. Consuming nutritious and healthy foods after a fast period maximizes results, while processed foods high in sugar can negate some of the positive effects. There are several methods of intermittent fasting, such as the Protocol 16-8, in which one fasts for 16 hours and feeds within an 8-hour window. Another common method is 5-by-2, where a person eats normally for 5 days and consumes very few calories on 2 days of the week. Each method has its pros and cons, and the choice depends on the individual lifestyle and goals. In short, fasting, although simple, has a gigantic impact on the body, from improving metabolic health to strengthening the brain and promoting a longer and healthier life. When done correctly and consciously, it can be a powerful tool to optimize both physical and mental health. Fasting is widely recognized as an effective weight loss strategy, and it doesn't happen by chance. When the body alternates between periods of feeding and withdrawal, there are a number of metabolic adaptations that ultimately lead to reduced body fat. But how exactly does fasting facilitate this weight loss? To understand this, we need to dive into how the body deals with the energy we consume, and how it responds when there is no food available for long periods. In a regular diet, the body's main source of energy comes from carbohydrates, which are broken down into glucose. When you eat, blood glucose levels rise and the pancreas releases insulin, a hormone that transports this glucose to cells where it is used as an immediate fuel. Excess glucose that is not needed at the moment is stored as glycogen in the liver and muscles, or converted into fat for use in the future. During fasting, after about 8 to 12 hours without food, the body begins to deplete glycogen reserves. Without enough glucose to maintain normal functions, he needs to find another source of energy, and that's where fat burning comes in. The body begins to convert fat deposits into fatty acids and subsequently into ketone bodies, which serve as an alternative source of energy for the brain and the rest of the body. This process is known as ketosis, and it is one of the main mechanisms by which fasting promotes weight loss. In addition to ketosis, fasting reduces the level of insulin in the blood. This is crucial because insulin plays a key role in fat storage. When insulin levels are high, the body tends to store more fat, and it is difficult to access these fat deposits to use them as energy. However, during fasting, insulin levels drop dramatically, which facilitates the burning of accumulated fat. Another important aspect of fasting that favors weight loss is the natural calorie restriction. By spending longer periods without eating, you naturally end up reducing the total number of calories consumed throughout the day, since there is less time available to eat. This creates a calorie deficit, which means that the body is burning more energy than it's getting, leading to weight loss. But fasting not only promotes weight loss by increasing fat burning and reducing calories ingested, it also affects hormones that influence appetite and metabolism. An example is ghrelin, known as the hunger hormone. During fasting, ghrelin levels may initially increase, but over time the body adapts and hunger decreases. This helps the person control their appetite more effectively, causing them to eat less when allowed. On the other hand, fasting also increases the production of hormones such as norepinephrine noradrenaline, which activates fat burning and accelerates metabolism. This means that even in periods of fasting, the body is working harder to consume calories, resulting in greater efficiency in weight loss. Intermittent fasting also improves insulin sensitivity. When the body becomes more sensitive to insulin, it needs less of this hormone to metabolize food, which means that less energy will be stored as fat. This is especially beneficial for people who have insulin resistance or are at risk of developing type 2 diabetes, as fasting helps regulate blood sugar levels and prevent excessive fat storage. Another point to consider is the effect of fasting on body composition. Unlike common restrictive diets that can lead to loss of muscle mass along with fat, intermittent fasting tends to preserve more lean mass. This is because during fasting, the body also stimulates the production of growth hormone HGH, which helps to preserve muscles while stimulating fat burning. Although weight loss is one of the most obvious benefits of fasting, it's important to remember that this effect comes as a result of a combination of metabolic, hormonal, and behavioral factors. Fasting forces the body to adapt, using fat as its main source of energy, reducing caloric intake, improving metabolism, and modulating hormones that control appetite and fat storage. The key to healthy and sustainable weight loss through fasting is in combining it with a balanced diet during feeding periods. Fasting is not a magic solution. The foods you eat when you are not fasting also play an essential role. If meals are rich in nutrients and made up of lean proteins, healthy fats, and low glycemic carbohydrates, the results will be even more significant and lasting. Therefore, fasting acts as a powerful strategy for weight loss not only by simply restricting calorie intake, but by triggering a series of metabolic responses that maximize fat burning. They preserve muscle mass and improve the general health of the body. Fasting is widely recognized for its benefits to the body, but what many people don't know is that it also has a deep and positive impact on the brain. When you switch between periods of feeding and abstinence, it is not only your metabolism that adapts, your brain also undergoes significant changes that can improve cognitive function, protect against neurodegenerative diseases, and even increase your ability to focus and concentrate. One of the main mechanisms by which fasting benefits the brain is related to increased production of ketone bodies. When the body depletes its glucose reserves and begins to burn fat for energy, it generates these ketone bodies, which are an excellent source of fuel for the brain. Unlike glucose, which can cause peaks and troughs in energy levels, ketone bodies provide a more stable and efficient energy, which improves mental clarity and reduces the sensation of cerebral fog. This state of ketosis is often associated with an improvement in the ability to concentrate and solve problems. In addition, fasting stimulates the production of a protein called BDNF-derived brain neurotrophic factor, which plays a crucial role in the growth of new neurons and the formation of new synaptic connections. This means that fasting can not only protect the brain from damage, but also help repair and strengthen its functions. The increase in BDNF is directly linked to improved memory, learning, and other cognitive functions, making fasting a powerful tool for keeping the brain young and active. Another important benefit is the activation of autophagy in the brain. As in other parts of the body, fasting activates a cell cleansing process that removes debris and toxins accumulated in brain cells. This process is vital to prevent the accumulation of damaged proteins that, in excess, can lead to neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Autophagy acts as a kind of cleaning in the brain, promoting its longevity and functionality. Fasting also has a positive impact on neurotransmitters, especially dopamine and serotonin, which regulate mood and emotional well-being. Many studies indicate that fasting can help improve mood, reduce anxiety, and even fight depression. This is partly because fasting helps to balance the levels of these neurotransmitters, providing a general sense of calm and focus. This hormonal regulation also contributes to the feeling of alertness and energy that many people report after periods of fasting. Chronic inflammation in the brain is a key factor in the development of various neurodegenerative diseases and is also associated with mental health problems such as depression and anxiety. Fasting has an anti-inflammatory effect on the brain, reducing the production of inflammatory cytokines that can damage neurons and affect mood and cognitive function. By controlling this inflammation, fasting contributes to a healthier and more resilient brain. Another fascinating aspect of fasting is its neuroprotective effect, especially in relation to oxidative stress, which occurs when there is an imbalance between the production of free radicals and the body's ability to neutralize them. The brain is particularly vulnerable to oxidative stress due to its high oxygen consumption, which can lead to cell death and accelerate brain aging. Fasting, however, increases the production of natural antioxidants that fight oxidative stress by protecting the brain from damage. Regular fasting can even improve brain plasticity, the ability of the brain to adapt and change over time. This is crucial for learning, developing new skills, and recovering from brain injury. A brain with greater plasticity is more efficient in forming new connections and recovering from damage, which can significantly improve its cognitive performance. In addition, fasting can induce a state of mental alertness due to increased production of norepinephrine, a hormone and neurotransmitter responsible for stress response and attention. During fasting, norepinephrine levels increase, which can make the brain more focused and agile, increasing its responsiveness in situations that require mental speed. In the context of neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and dementia, fasting offers even more significant protection. Animal studies suggest that fasting may slow the progression of these conditions, mainly because of increased BDNF, reduced oxidative stress, and decreased inflammation in the brain. Although more research is needed to confirm these effects in humans, the evidence is promising. For those seeking to improve cognitive performance and protect the brain in the long term, fasting can be an extremely valuable tool. It offers a natural and effective approach to improve memory, increase focus, reduce the risk of neurodegenerative diseases, and keep the brain functioning optimally. These benefits make fasting a practice not only beneficial to the body, but also a true brain gymnastics, helping to keep the mind sharp. And fasting has been practiced for centuries, whether for religious, cultural, or health reasons, and in recent years modern science has begun to reveal the profound benefits that this practice can bring to the body. One of the most fascinating aspects of fasting is its ability to reduce inflammation, a silent but powerful process that affects almost all chronic diseases and aging. By reducing inflammation, fasting not only promotes overall health, but can also increase longevity, helping the body function more efficiently and fighting the effects of aging. Inflammation is a natural response of the body to injury or infection. It is the way in which the immune system acts to protect the body by sending defense cells to the site of injury or infection. However, when inflammation becomes chronic, that is, when the body remains in an inflammatory state for a long time, it can become harmful. Chronic inflammation is associated with a number of degenerative diseases, such as heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and even neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Fasting acts directly on this chronic inflammation. When the body enters a fasting state, a series of cellular and molecular changes begin to occur. One of the main mechanisms is the activation of autophagy, a process in which cells begin to self-clean. During autophagy, cells remove damaged residues and components, which helps reduce inflammatory signs. By eliminating these damaged parts, the body breaks the vicious cycle of inflammation, promoting a cellular renewal. Another factor that contributes to the reduction of inflammation during fasting is the regulation of cytokines, which are proteins responsible for communication between cells of the immune system. Some cytokines have inflammatory properties, while others help to control inflammation. During fasting, there is a significant reduction in the production of inflammatory cytokines such as TNF-alpha and interleukin-6 IL-6. These inflammatory markers are known to be elevated in many chronic conditions and in the aging process. By reducing its production, fasting creates a less inflamed environment in the body, which favors both health and longevity. In addition, fasting also helps to control insulin and blood sugar levels. High blood glucose levels can lead to a constant inflammatory state, especially in people with insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes. During fasting, insulin levels drop significantly, and the body becomes more sensitive to this hormone. This helps control blood sugar and reduce inflammation associated with insulin resistance. In the long term, this effect can protect against chronic diseases and improve metabolic health. Another aspect that makes fasting an effective tool in reducing inflammation is its effect on oxidative stress. Oxidative stress occurs when there is an imbalance between the production of free radicals and the body's ability to neutralize them with antioxidants. These free radicals damage cells and tissues, triggering inflammation that can accelerate aging and increase the risk of chronic diseases. Fasting, however, increases the production of natural antioxidants in the body, which helps to combat oxidative stress and consequently reduces inflammation. Studies have shown that intermittent fasting, for example, can reduce inflammatory markers in people with overweight, obesity, and chronic conditions. A research published in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging found that individuals who practiced intermittent fasting had a significant decrease in levels of PCR C-reactive protein, a common marker of inflammation. This suggests that fasting has a direct effect on reducing systemic inflammation, which is essential for longevity. In addition to the direct physiological effects, fasting also induces changes in eating habits that can contribute to reducing inflammation. When people are in a fasting state, they tend to avoid sudden spikes in glucose and insulin, common in diets high in sugar and refined carbohydrates. These fluctuations in blood sugar are known to trigger inflammation. Therefore, fasting not only creates an internal environment conducive to reducing inflammation, but also encourages healthier food choices in feeding periods. Another interesting point is that fasting can also reduce inflammation in the digestive system. When you fast, the gastrointestinal tract has time to rest and recover. Often, inflammation begins in the intestine, either due to inadequate nutrition, food allergies, or intestinal permeability, known as a permeable intestine. During fasting, there is a decrease in the production of inflammatory substances in the intestine, which can help heal the intestinal lining and restore balance to beneficial bacteria. This has a cascade effect throughout the body, reducing overall inflammation. The reduction of inflammation through fasting is directly linked to increased longevity. This is because chronic inflammation is one of the main drivers of aging and age-related diseases. When the body can better control inflammation, aging processes are slowed down. Cells function more efficiently, organs are less overloaded, and the risk of developing degenerative diseases is significantly reduced. The impact of fasting on longevity has been extensively studied in animal models. In a classic study, rats that were submitted to a calorie-restricted diet, which mimics the effects of fasting, lived up to 30% longer than those who ate at will. Researchers attribute this increase in longevity to fasting's ability to reduce inflammation and improve metabolic health. Although more human studies are needed to confirm these results, evidence suggests that the same mechanisms can be applied to people. In short, fasting is a powerful practice to reduce inflammation in the body. By activating autophagy, regulating inflammatory cytokines, controlling insulin levels, and fighting oxidative stress, fasting creates an internal environment that promotes health and well-being. By reducing chronic inflammation, fasting can help prevent disease and promote longevity, ensuring the body works optimally for longer. Fasting is a strategy that goes far beyond weight loss. It can be an incredibly effective tool for improving a number of crucial metabolic indicators, such as cholesterol levels, blood glucose, and other metabolism-related health factors. Several scientific studies have shown that fasting can promote a healthier metabolic balance, reducing the risk of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and other metabolic disorders. To start with, one of the biggest benefits of fasting is its impact on cholesterol levels. High cholesterol is a significant risk factor for heart disease, as it can lead to plaque buildup in the arteries, resulting in obstructions that can cause infarction or stroke. Fasting, especially intermittent fasting, helps to improve the lipid profile by reducing levels of LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol, and increasing levels of HDL, the good cholesterol. This change in cholesterol balance is extremely beneficial, as HDL has the function of transporting excess cholesterol from the arteries back to the liver where it can be eliminated, thus reducing the risk of cardiovascular disease. In addition, fasting has a powerful effect on reducing triglyceride levels in the blood. Triglycerides are a type of fat that, when in excess, can increase the risk of heart disease. Studies have shown that intermittent fasting can significantly reduce triglyceride levels, which directly contributes to long-term cardiovascular health. This effect occurs because during fasting the body begins to use fat as a main source of energy, breaking down the reserves of triglycerides and decreasing their concentration in the blood. Another metabolic indicator that fasting helps regulate is blood sugar, that is, blood sugar levels. In people who have insulin resistance, a condition in which the body's cells do not respond adequately to insulin, leading to an accumulation of glucose in the blood, fasting can have an extremely positive impact. When the body is fasting, insulin levels fall, and this allows cells to become more sensitive to this hormone. As a result, the body can process glucose more efficiently, keeping blood sugar levels under control. This increased insulin sensitivity not only helps prevent insulin resistance, but can also reverse the picture in people who already suffer from prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. Many studies indicate that intermittent fasting can reduce fasting blood sugar and improve glycemic control throughout the day, which is crucial for preventing diabetes-related complications such as nerve damage, eye, and kidney. Interestingly, fasting also helps control the production of insulin, a hormone that at high levels can lead to weight gain and chronic inflammation, as well as being associated with an increased risk of chronic disease. During fasting, as insulin levels drop, the body begins to use fat reserves to produce energy, which results in reduced body fat and improved metabolic indicators. In addition to improving cholesterol and blood sugar, fasting has positive impacts on other metabolic markers such as blood pressure. Keeping blood pressure at healthy levels is critical to reducing the risk of heart disease and stroke, and fasting can help regulate this function by improving blood vessel elasticity and reducing chronic inflammation, that it is one of the main factors contributing to hypertension. When the body enters a fasting state, the production of stress hormones such as cortisol decreases, and this can lead to a natural drop in blood pressure. Fasting also promotes the regulation of other metabolic hormones, such as growth hormone. During fasting, growth hormone levels increase significantly, which helps to preserve lean muscle mass while the body burns fat. This increase in growth hormone also improves insulin sensitivity and overall metabolism, which is essential for maintaining a healthy weight and controlling metabolic factors. The improvement in metabolic indicators is not limited to the factors already mentioned. Fasting also contributes to the reduction of systemic inflammation in the body, which is associated with a number of chronic conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, and even some types of cancer. Fasting induces a process called autophagy, in which cells eliminate damaged components and recycle their parts. This helps reduce inflammation levels and promotes cell renewal, which in the long run improves metabolic health and overall body function. Another area where fasting can be particularly beneficial is in controlling the levels of leptin, the satiation hormone. In people with overweight or obesity, there is often a leptin resistance, which means that the body does not recognize the signs of being satisfied, leading to food excesses. Fasting can help restore leptin sensitivity, which in turn can improve appetite control and facilitate the maintenance of a healthy weight. Finally, an important point to be highlighted is that fasting not only improves metabolic indicators in isolation, but also promotes integrated metabolic health. By regulating hormones like insulin, leptin, and growth hormone, reducing inflammation and oxidative stress, and improving the lipid profile, fasting creates a more balanced metabolic environment that helps prevent a number of chronic diseases. This is critical to increasing quality of life and longevity. In short, if you want to improve your cholesterol levels, blood sugar and other metabolic indicators, fasting is one of the most effective strategies. It acts on multiple systems in the body, promoting not only weight loss but also the regulation of metabolic processes most important for long-term health. Whether as a preventive approach or as a way to reverse established problems, fasting offers a full range of metabolic benefits, transforming the way the body processes and uses energy. Fasting, in addition to its broad benefits for metabolism and general health, also has a profound and often underestimated impact on strengthening the immune system. Recent research indicates that fasting can stimulate the production of new defense cells, increase the efficiency of the immune system, and promote a more robust response against infections and inflammation. This is done through a series of biological mechanisms that involve cell renewal, hormonal regulation, and inflammation control. The immune system is the body's main line of defense against pathogens such as viruses, bacteria, and fungi, as well as against anomalous cells that can lead to diseases like cancer. However, the immune system, as well as other body systems, can wear out over time, mainly due to factors such as inadequate diet, chronic stress, and aging. In this context, fasting emerges as an effective way to reset and optimize immune functions. One of the most impressive mechanisms by which fasting strengthens the immune system is through the promotion of autophagy, a process in which the body's cells begin to self-clean. During autophagy, cells eliminate damaged components, including defective organelles and accumulated proteins, and recycle their nutrients. In the immune system, this process helps renew and rejuvenate defense cells such as lymphocytes, ensuring that the body has a more efficient line of defense and less susceptible to failure. Fasting also stimulates the production of stem cells, which are responsible for generating new immune cells. A study conducted by the University of Southern California has shown that during prolonged fasting periods, the body enters into a state of economy in which the oldest and least efficient cells are eliminated, and stem cells are activated to produce new defense cells. This cell regeneration process strengthens the immune system, as new cells are more effective in fighting infections and foreign invaders. The renewal of immune cells can also have a positive impact on combating the aging of the immune system, a phenomenon known as immunosenescence, which occurs over the years. Another relevant aspect of fasting is its ability to regulate inflammation. Chronic inflammation, even at low levels, can weaken the immune system by diverting resources from the body to combat long-lasting inflammations, making the organism more vulnerable to infections. Fasting reduces the levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines, such as TNF-alpha and interleukin-6, Illinois-6, which are often elevated in chronic inflammation states. By lowering these inflammatory markers, fasting relieves the burden on the immune system, allowing it to focus its resources on real threats such as infections or tumor cells, rather than fighting persistent and unnecessary inflammation. The efficiency of the immune system is also increased during fasting due to reduced blood glucose and insulin levels. High blood sugar levels can impair the function of white blood cells, which are responsible for identifying and destroying pathogens. During fasting, glucose levels drop, which leads to an improvement in the function of these white blood cells. In addition, insulin sensitivity increases, which helps regulate metabolism and decrease the risk of inflammation and other metabolic problems that can weaken the immune system. Another factor that contributes to the strengthening of the immune system through fasting is the reduction of oxidative stress. Oxidative stress occurs when there is an imbalance between the production of free radicals and the body's ability to neutralize them with antioxidants. This stress can damage immune cells and compromise the body's ability to respond to infections. During fasting, the production of natural antioxidants in the body increases, which helps to neutralize free radicals and protect the cells of the immune system from damage. Intestinal health, which is an essential component of the immune system, also benefits significantly from fasting. The intestine houses a large part of the immune system, known as Galt lymphoid tissue associated with the intestine. When a person fasts, the digestive tract has the opportunity to rest and regenerate. This rest helps to restore the balance of gut microbiota, the good bacteria that inhabit the intestine, and reduce intestinal inflammation. A healthy intestine, in turn, is better equipped to defend the body against pathogens entering through the digestive system. Fasting has also been associated with an improvement in the function of T lymphocytes, which are essential for adaptive immunity. These lymphocytes play a critical role in identifying and destroying cells infected with viruses or cancer cells. Research indicates that intermittent fasting can increase the effectiveness of T lymphocytes by improving their ability to detect and respond to threats. This means that the body can react more quickly and efficiently to infections, which is especially relevant in times of pandemic and outbreaks of infectious diseases. In addition, fasting helps to modulate the production of immune-related hormones. An example is cortisol, known as the stress hormone. Although cortisol has anti-inflammatory properties, its chronically elevated levels can suppress immune function. During fasting, cortisol levels tend to stabilize, which helps maintain immune balance without overloading the system with unnecessary inflammatory responses. The combination of these factors makes fasting a highly effective strategy for optimizing immune function. By promoting cell renewal, reducing inflammation, improving insulin sensitivity, increasing white blood cell function, and balancing hormone levels, fasting significantly strengthens the immune system, preparing the body to better cope with infections and diseases. In short, fasting not only cleanses and revitalizes the body from within, but also stimulates the production of new immune cells and improves the efficiency of the immune system. It rejuvenates the body's defenses, promoting a more effective response to pathogens and inflammation, and may even help prevent serious immune-related diseases such as cancer and viral infections. As a result, fasting stands out as a powerful tool to strengthen the immune system and promote lasting health. Now that you know the amazing benefits of fasting, are you ready to try and feel these incredible changes in your body? If you like the video, leave your like and sign up for more health and wellness tips. And tell me in the comments, have you tried to fast? How was the experience?